Matt Diaz, kicker.
This is Taylor Beal, linebacker.
This is Jordan Oldroyd, quarterback.
This is RJ Moreno, running back.
This is Corey Coleman, wide receiver.
This is Taco Williams, defensive back, and you are listening to Georgetown Eagle Football on SHN Sports.
Well, good evening, Eagle Nation. How are we doing tonight? All right. Welcome to, let's bring the volume up a little bit. Welcome to Berger University, host of the Georgetown Eagle Nation Coaches Show. This is week 12, but officially the 11th Coaches Show for your Georgetown Eagles. And we are on the most beautiful town square in Texas. And don't forget, November 29th, they're lighting the square up. I see Chuck Pledge and Kay Pledge out there. Want to give them a nice hello. Welcome back. Good to see y'all. By the way, they will be making the trip to Bryan, so we're excited to have them making the trip. We also want to say a big thank you to Georgetown alumni Camille Boyd. She's helping us out tonight, so tip them well. Also, Sam Sproul. She's a junior at Georgetown, and also Caroline Gant. She's a junior, so they're working really hard to serve us excellent food tonight. So, all right, so you've got me tonight. I'm David England. I'm your host, and you might recognize the name. My daughter is Emily England. She's our reporter for FanStan. And Rob is in Huntsville tonight. He is broadcasting the Sam Houston Bobcats basketball tonight on ESPN. So that's pretty exciting for him. So he's not able to make it. Brad is in New York. Kelly's in Denver. They're listening in. So wish me luck tonight. So first broadcast. So thank you. And we have Nathan Height producing tonight. So we go back. Last week, the Georgetown Eagles. Well, let's back up. District 11 swept District 12 in the first round of playoffs. So everybody in our district swept them. That was the second year that's happened. So last week, your Georgetown Eagles defeated the Austin LBJ Jaguars in a bi-district playoff game last Friday night at Nelson Field in Austin, Texas. Kelly Duvall and I were treated to an SEC-like defensive heavyweight battle between the Eagles and the Jaguars Friday night. This was the first meeting between the two teams, and we thought the Eagles would need to establish their run to wear down the LBJ light roster and keep our defense fresh, and that they did. So Georgetown Eagles came out with a 6-3 victory. A lot of defense with a total of 3 field goals scored in the game. Thank you, Matt Diaz. So quick recap. Captains Taylor Beal, Alex Steele, Brandon Hargrove, and Taco Williams took the field, and it started early with in the first half with junior defensive back Aaron Bazell picked off the Jags quarterback on his 5th interception of the season, giving the ball back to the offense. Sophomore quarterback number 8, Darson Herman, with a deep pass to junior wide receiver Cole Petter, brother of Nick Petter, who was a defensive back last year. You remember the name? For a huge catch and run after the catch to set up the first points of the game with a 38-yard field goal by senior kicker number 27, Matt Diaz. The Eagles took the lead 3-0. Then junior DB Saul Del Rosa, number 20, said, Bizzell's not going to have all the fun tonight, and he picks off his 6th interception on the year with a deep pass. Georgetown with the lead at the half, 3-0. In the second half, the Jags take a chance and test our corners in the end zone, and senior corner number 18, Taco Williams, says, not tonight, with a game-saving swat down in the end zone. A ton of great defense by both teams. We saw Colby Cummings pursuing the quarterback all over the field. Beal with several tackles again, including a big hit on their quarterback. Valencia with at least 3 tackles. Dre Langhorne with a big hit on their QB, then a second, then a third out of bounds. He was on fire that night. Offensively, our wide receivers, Coleman with 5 catches. Bradford, Lachlan with drive-extending passes. LBJ was able to orchestrate a drive late in the game in the fourth quarter to get a field goal to tie the game with 6:40 remaining in the game. Then offensive trots on the field, and between Edie's rushing, Herman's rushing, and drive extending passes to rattle off an 18-play, 60-yard, time-chewing, game-winning drive to set up Matt Diaz's game-winning 30-yard field goal with 11 seconds left. LBJ could not convert, and that's ball game. Your Eagles advance to the second round. So with that, let's give a big warm welcome to first-year head coach Chuck Griffin with a winning record and headed to the playoffs. Coach, good to see you.
Good to see you, Dave.
So, Coach, you said in the pregame show that we would need to watch their speed. Aside from one quick sweep to the edge, I think the Eagle defense shut that speed down. Tell us what you took away from the outstanding defensive effort in the first round of the playoffs.
Man, our defense played great all the way around. Our unit of the week this week, usually we give that to one group. This week it was the entire defense. They did a great job all night. The big thing was I think they did a really good job of recognizing what was coming. If you go back and watch the film, there's a lot of point, there's a lot of communication. They see what's coming, and we're just getting 11 hash of the football before they can get there. So that was our great job all night.
Outstanding. Coach, we've heard that your quarterback, Herman, was playing with the flu. What an effort by that young man.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's he really grew up the other night. Just having to play when you don't feel like that, when you don't feel good, and you could look at him and tell he was not feeling well. And but be able to go out there and really play. There wasn't any just great long runs or any great big throws or anything like that, but just it was a really steady game. It probably one of his best performances on the year while he was feeling way under the weather. So that was a really good job by him. So
talk to us how you think he's maturing right before our eyes with game-winning drives, etc.
I think anytime a quarterback can play, that he's going to get better, and that's what Darson's doing. He's just getting better. He's gaining more experience. And, really that it just goes to show you that the offense on that last drive, while we didn't have great numbers all night, we didn't put a bunch of points on the board. We drove 80 yards, 16 plays, took up the last six and a half minutes of the game, had 2 fourth-down conversions, and obviously finishing off with a field goal. And just managing the clock and managing the way the game is going, completing those fourth-down throws, all of that is and running for a fourth-down throw. Running for a fourth-down conversion. Those are all really big. And so just for him to be able to have that experience and have the game on the line to be able to do that, that's going to help him get better.
Kelly thought I was going to jump out the window. I was so excited up there in the booth. So we loved the gutsy fourth down play calling. Talk us through your thoughts. Was it the confidence in your defense, or this is the playoffs?
There at the end of the game, it was just the game's on the line. If you want to think about maybe – NFL or college, what you see on the game day, we might have said, all right, look, we're going to punt to them, then make a defensive stop, then get the ball back and do that. But, I don't feel like our game was ever in that situation. I felt like we had to continue to move the ball. And our defense had been playing great all night. It wasn't about a lack of trust in them. It was just about, hey, we got to go win the football game.
Yeah.
We actually used a couple of timeouts on one. We called a play. Didn't like the defensive look, called another timeout and called another play, and were able to convert. And so it worked out good. You always want it to work out that way. It doesn't always do, but it was good for our guys just to be able to go out and compete and finish the drive.
How about that kicker, senior kicker, Matt Diaz? How important is it to have him back healthy?
Man, it was really good to have him back healthy. He missed a few games being injured. And for him to really come back and feel like he's feeling and do a great job and score only points on the night, that was big. So
ice.
That's right.
Ice in those veins. All right, final thoughts on round one before we move on to looking ahead.
I just think it was a really hard-fought football game. I think Coach Farrell and those guys, man, or Coach Finner and those guys, they did a great job with their guys too. You can talk to our guys. There's a little bit of jawing before the game, but as the game wore on, there's a lot of respect from both sides because they really realized, man, this is just a dogfight.
Yeah.
And they gave it just like our guys did. And man, it was great to see our guys grow up and develop there at the end. So you got to do that in the playoffs. The regular season doesn't matter. It's all about winning one game. Yeah. And for our guys to pull it out last week was really big.
Great win. Looking ahead, round two is the area round coming up versus Richmond Foster Falcons, 5A Division I, District 10, Region 3, part of Lamar Consolidated ISD. Foster's located, for those that you don't know, in Rosenberg, Texas, southwest of Missouri City, southwest of Houston area. This is literally a neutral site for folks at Bryant ISD's Merrill Green Stadium. We travel an hour and 44 minutes, 98 miles. Foster fans, they travel an hour and 46 minutes, 99 miles. This is the first meeting between the two programs, and your Doppler day forecast, sunny skies, 63 degrees, winds north-northwest at 5 to 10. Foster's district record is 4-3, tied for fourth, I believe, behind Angleton. Their overall record is 7-4. Earlier, they lost in district to number 2 in the state, Shadow Creek, 24-17. Lost to Friendswood and Hightower in district, and then lost a non-district game against number 24 in the state, Travis High School Tigers. Last week, Foster defeated District 9 champions, number 10 in the state, New Caney Eagles, who we saw last year in the second round in Bryan, 31-21. That really surprised a lot of folks. Yeah. It looks like they have quite a bit of offensive firepower with their senior quarterback, Ryan Stubblefield, who's got 2,000 yards. Just lots of firepower. What are you seeing from those kids?
You know, first of all, their record probably does not reflect how good they are. You know, you mentioned it was Shadow Creek was 1, Friendswood was 2, Hightower was 3, and Foster was 4. Man, they are a really tough district all the way around. All those guys. They've got lots of players, and you know that's what you're going to see. You're going to see a lot of special kids on the field this week, and we had some last week. Mm-hmm. You know, I think there was probably 3 or 4 guys last week in the LBJ game that are going to be Division I football players, and Foster's going to be the same. You know, Stubblefield does a great job. It's over 2,000 yards rushing. They have the number 1 offense in the district, even above Shadow Creek's. And I believe they have the number 3 defense in the district, so they can put up some points. And you know they got an Oklahoma commit at wide receiver, Cody Jackson. They got Stubblefield at quarterback, who's East Carolina commit, and then they're really good up front too, offensive line wise. You know they got a left tackle, and his name escapes me right now, but he's 6'8", 315 pounds. You know, so I mean he's got a stack of offers. So. They're really good up front. Probably the most balanced offense we've seen all year as far as running the ball, throwing the ball, being good up front, being good at the running back position. We might not see the best running back, but we're going to see the best running game this week because they're good in the offensive line and they're solid at running back and they throw the ball well too. So, you know, our defense, we feel really good about that because that's the matchup for us. You know, that's our strength has been our defensive front, and that's going to be their strength is their offensive front. So. We feel like we have a good matchup there. You know, offensively, we just got to continue to do what we're doing, continue to grow, continue to run the football, be able to dink and dunk a little bit. You know, they got a University of Houston commit in the offensive line, in the defensive line at nose guard. Got really good outside linebacker and another good defensive end. So we're going to have to scheme a few ways to run the football and try to contain those guys. And again, we feel like that matches our strength pretty good because that's where we're strong is in our offensive line. So we feel like that's kind of our best against their best.
So it's just such an exciting time of the year. What's the mindset with your coaching staff heading into this matchup, and what did you tell the team after the victory last Friday?
You know, I just told them how proud I was of them. You know, anytime you get in a situation in the middle of the season where you kind of have a little lull like that and you face a couple of tough games and your back's against the wall basically to get in the playoffs, and then they just continue to win. And they're continuing to grow. They're continuing to get better as a team. And that was probably one of our best overall team wins, having special teams score points, defense playing great, and offense being able to move the football and convert some fourth down. So that was probably our best overall team win last week. And now what I'm talking to him about is really none of that matters. You know, the district record doesn't matter. Season doesn't matter. Last week doesn't matter. It's all about going 1-0. And that's the big thing is we've got to be 1-0 every single week. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. You know, there's not their district record doesn't matter either. And their win last week against New Caney doesn't matter. It's all about what are we going to do Saturday.
Right. So you've kind of touched on it, but what will Georgetown need to establish early in this matchup?
You know, early, I think, one, we got to be able to control the clock a little bit. We got to try to do a good job of maintaining possession of the ball so that they don't get the ball. Mm-hmm. One, and then again, we got to do a great job stopping their run and forcing them to do some things that are a little bit out of their comfort zone. We got to stop number 2, Cody Jackson. We got to keep him from hurting us. But those are a lot of things for us to do well, and we got an opportunity to do that. So. We're excited about it, and just keep preparing, and we're keep getting better. So we're going to work at it.
Everyone pretty healthy?
Yeah, overall, I think we are. We're pretty healthy. We're in pretty good shape. Really, to be honest, probably, you know, we've lost some guys for the season throughout the season, and we missed those guys. But really, probably overall, this might be the healthiest we've been in a while. It's just nobody's really banged up. Everybody's kind of ready to go.
Very good. Practice is going well this week?
Yeah, they've been good. We got an extra day this week, so we had a little bit more walkthrough and teaching time early in the week, and now we're kind of like today was really a Tuesday instead of Wednesday. You know, so we're kind of a day behind as far as that goes. Not not behind. We're just on a different day. And but our kids have done really good with that. And we've had great weather this week, which has been nice. To be able to get out and not have to worry about the rain or the wind or anything, that's been good too. So we're just going to continue to get better and continue to work.
Outstanding. And final comments, any additional information you'd like to share?
The big deal is for us guys is we're going to get out there and go 1-0, and we're going to go win. We love as many people can be there as can, and wear blue and be early, stay late, and be loud, and let's go make that our home field. So.
Absolutely.
All right.
And thank you for your accessibility as always, Coach.
Appreciate it.
And good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. We would like to mention our sponsors as well, and we're always looking for playoff sponsors as well. If you'd like to get involved, you can contact Rob at shnsports.com. We'd like to thank Extraco Banks and Greg Eady, and then Royce Electric. Kaylee Biondo is a cheerleader, and then Georgetown Shirt Company and Georgetown Jewelry. So without their help, a lot of this is not possible, so we thank them very, very much. So we're going to move on to our interviews with our players of the week. The first player of the week is our defensive player of the week, Georgetown Eagle linebacker number 2, Dre Langhorne. How you doing? Good to see you. Dre, great to see you up here. You had an outstanding game this last week.
Yeah.
Talk to us about your role on the team, being a linebacker, are you a spy, talk to us about your role.
Well, beginning of the season I played safety, so moving a linebacker, having Taylor and Matt's help, adjusting me with the position, helping me out a little bit was huge. It was a hard transition for me to make, I go from backpedaling to chop and go, so.
Yeah. Well, you cover some ground really fast. Talk about what are some positive highlights for you so far this season? Stats, big plays, stuff like that.
Hits, yeah. Big hits, really part of my game.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Big victory on the road versus LBJ. What were some highlights of that game that you remember?
Big Herman, actually. Darson being able to, like Coach Griff said, playing with the flu, for him to step up and do what he did as a sophomore was huge. Brandon Bradford, I think it was, Brandon, he ran a little curl hitch route and got a little grab on Sean French, and good game. Good game for him.
Good stuff. Going forward, is there any area in your play where you think you can improve?
Of course, yeah. Being able to cover receivers that are faster than me, at the linebacker position this week, Cody Johnson, he's going to – Jackson, excuse me. He's going to be huge job for us to stop him, get the ball out of his hands, make sure he doesn't get it, especially in open space, because he has the speed to break loose and make big plays.
He won't get past you.
Oh, no.
Where does your team need to improve overall this season?
Special teams, honestly. We could improve on special teams, stuff like that.
Looking ahead to the area round versus Foster, what are you excited about and looking forward to the most?
Just playing a ball game, We're in the playoffs. It's round 2, and not a lot of schools get to make it, this far. So at this point, I'm focused on winning, having fun, and sparing the time that I have with seniors.
With the fellas. All right. What are some of your role models growing up, some folks that you've looked up to?
Jerry Rice, for sure. Looked up to him most of the time. Literally growing up, played receiver a little bit more than the defensive side. Mm-hmm. So watching his highlights and stuff like that, listening to some of his interviews, quotes and stuff like that, Jerry Rice, for sure.
Awesome. And what does it mean to you to be a Georgetown Eagle?
Oh, it means a lot, being able to rep that G. Not a lot of people. Some people wish to rep the G on the football field. Kids walk around in school, wish we played for varsity football, stuff like that. So it means a lot.
Did you grow up here in Georgetown?
I did not.
Did not? Where'd you grow up?
Virginia.
Virginia.
Yes,
you got here as quick as you could, dude.
Of course.
Tell us about future plans.
Trying to play college football, honestly. Being able to step up a little bit like Taylor Beal. Play some college ball.
Awesome. You've got another year to play at Georgetown. You're a junior right now. We get to see you next year as well, so that'll be exciting. So we got a couple million folks on the stream right now listening in. So
Yeah.
you give us your final shout out.
Shout out T-Man Taco. Shout out Taylor. Shout out Air Patrol. Trey Flores, Matt, Clamp Crew, Jake, Cameron, Tommy, Josh Jett, Nate, Herman. Shout out everybody.
Pretty much everybody here.
Yeah. Yes,
Awesome.
sir.
Great job, Dre. Great
Appreciate
job.
it.
Keep it up. All right, now we move on to the offensive player of the game, Georgetown Eagles junior wide receiver number 40, Cole Petter. How you doing, Cole? All right, Cole, I have to be honest with you, and I have to kind of apologize for my call in the booth. You were not, you didn't have a number on the back of your jersey. We didn't know who number 40 was. And I looked at Kelly, he caught the ball, like, who's number 40? We're looking around, who's number 40? And I thought it was genius because I didn't think you had, now looking back at the video, I see your uniform was a little tighter, but it looked loose. I was like, that's it. Throw it to the frumpy kid with the loose uniform. Nobody's going to be covering him. It's an instant catch, so I apologize. You're not frumpy. Somebody later corrected me, said you're a baller, so all right, we'll start off with that. All right, so talk about your role on the team, and I'm assuming when did you come up to varsity?
This week during playoffs.
This week.
Last week.
Outstanding. So talk to us about your role in the program, I guess.
I started off at linebacker. I didn't really like linebacker that much, but I was able to move to receiver. Mm-hmm. And I really excelled at that position, catching the ball for the JV team.
Awesome. What are some, and going back to that catch, that was a huge catch for the game because it really set up that extra, field goal that put us ahead, and they came back and tied it. And so without that field goal, without that catch, it'll be a different outcome possibly. So that was huge. What are some positive highlights for you so far this season? Stats, big plays, stuff like that.
Probably the game against Hutto. I had 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. It was a really fun game.
Outstanding. And big victory on the road versus LBJ. What were some highlights of the game for you?
Probably all the big fourth down catches the offense had, and the field goals Matt Diaz kicked.
Outstanding. Going forward, where do you think you can improve on your game style?
Probably my get-offs and my stance, get out the ball faster, and probably my route running.
Okay. And where does the team need to improve overall? Do you see any areas that we can improve?
Probably the offense getting the ball in the end zone this weekend is the goal.
Perfect. Looking ahead to the area round versus Foster, what are you excited about most and looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to play some more varsity football and be able to get the ball again.
Outstanding. What are some of your role models growing up, and who have you looked up to?
Probably my older brother, Nick. I looked up to him through sports like lacrosse and football because we always play the same sports, and through academics too.
Mr. Thiel was mentioning that you played lacrosse. Are you planning on playing lacrosse this year?
Yes, I am.
Cool, very cool. What are some? What does it mean to you to be a Georgetown Eagle?
It means to me to represent the G to the school, like everything I do, take character reps through the hallways, and represent the team.
Awesome. They're going to rip you. They're going to give you a hard time. So tell us about your future plans. What you've got lacrosse coming up in the future. Any other future plans?
Maybe play future lacrosse college, or probably just go somewhere in Texas for school, like A&M.
Outstanding. That's a good choice. All right. Thank you so much, Cole.
Thank
Great
you.
job. Keep it up. Good luck in round 2. All right. And Cole, I should have kept you up here because now everybody's going to come up for player trivia. We've got offense versus defense. Everybody kind of make their way around. I'll scoot out of the way just a little bit here. We're going to do Thanksgiving trivia. Thanksgiving trivia. All right. So currently, offense won last year, but offense is currently leading right now 26-20. So it's there is a chance. You're saying there's a chance. So Thanksgiving trivia. What year What year was the celebration that is most commonly considered to be the first Thanksgiving? A, 1621, B, 1580, C, 1492, D, 1825. I'll repeat that. So the A is 1621, B is 1580, C is 1492, and D is 1825. So we'll go with the offense first.
A, 1621.
Okay.
Let's go C.
C. The answer is A, 1621.
Taylor goes, say the one with 15.
All right. How long did the first Thanksgiving celebration last? A, 2 weeks, B, 3 days, C, 1 week, D, 5 days. And we'll go with defense first for the answer. So again, 2 weeks for A, B is 3 days, C is 1 week, D is 5 days.
C, 1 week. 3 days.
That is correct. B, 3 days. All right.
They're cheating. They're cheating.
Under which president did Thanksgiving become an annual holiday? A, Abraham Lincoln. B, James Garfield. C, Andrew Johnson. D, James Buchanan. Under which president did Thanksgiving become an annual holiday? Abraham Lincoln, James Garfield, Andrew Johnson, James Buchanan. Offense.
All right, we're going Garfield. James Buchanan.
I'm so sorry. It's Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, we get to answer first this time.
All right. So that's 2 points for offense so far. So in what decade did both the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and the America's Thanksgiving Parade start? 1890s, 1900s, 1920s, or 1870s? We'll go with the defense first. So A, 1890s, B, 1900s, C, 1920s, D, 1870s.
1890s.
Defense says 1890s.
1900s.
Offense says 1900s. The correct answer is 1920s. Okay. Which president was the first to give a turkey a presidential pardon? Ronald Reagan, George Washington, Barack Obama, or Abraham Lincoln?
Hey, can you read them again, please?
Yes. Which president was the first to give a turkey a presidential pardon? A, Ronald Reagan, B, George Washington, C, Barack Obama, D, Abraham Lincoln. And we'll go with offense first on this one.
We're going Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
We're going Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan is correct. Defense got it. So, all right, this is kind of an interesting one. What is the wobbly red piece of flesh on top of the beak of a turkey? Is it a wobbler, a gobbler, a beak flapper, or a snood? A wobbler, gobbler, beak flapper, or snood?
I thought it was a beard. I thought it was a beard.
Anybody in FFA?
Can you go one more time? Just the answers?
So, the red piece on top of the beak of the turkey, a wobbler, a gobbler, a beak flapper, or a snood? Defense.
We're going snood.
Okay, defense says snood.
Gobbler.
Offense says gobbler. Correct answer is snood. All right. So tonight it's offense has got 2, defense has got 2. So what are most turkey feathers used for after the turkey is plucked? What are the most turkey feathers used for after the turkey is plucked? It's kind of so party hats, animal feed, fertilizer, or pillows. Again, party hats, animal feed, fertilizers, or pillows. Offense first. What are most turkey feathers used after the turkey is plucked? Party hats, animal feed, fertilizer, or pillows?
No, y'all go first.
Fertilizer.
Okay.
Animal feed.
Defense is correct. Animal feed. All right, so now it's 28-23.
Hey, don't call it a comeback. Don't call it a comeback. Don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback, but call it a comeback.
Right.
Like don't, but like do.
All right, great job, guys. Thank you very much. So now we move on to the Eagle Sports Recap Booster Minute with Georgetown Eagle Booster President Pete Thiel. Pete, where's the tailgate this week?
All right, tailgate this week is at Grub Burger Bar. It's at 980 University Drive East in College Station. It will be at 12:30. We got space reserved for between 30 and 50 people.
Awesome.
So it's in College Station, but it's 5 minutes from Merrill Green Stadium. Real close. We went there last year. It was a nice setup. They had half the restaurant with high-top tables. We could go over there and just slide in. It worked out really well last year.
I forgot to ask Coach, are we home or away?
We're home.
We're home team. Okay,
Yep,
awesome.
I got the thumbs up. I
That's good.
had seen that on social media. I thought that was correct.
Emily's excited about that. It's the best lighting over there.
It's good because the sun, when we were the away team, was brutal one of the games.
Yes, sir. That was the last game. That was round 3 last year. All right. Any good information that you'd like to pass on to Eagle Nation?
Just want to talk to people about what we have going for the boys this week. Friday night we have team dinner. It'll be between 5 and 5:15. If you're on the group text for playoff parents, there's a sign-up genie that's gone out that I believe is full. But if you go on there, you can see what we're bringing. It's going to be pasta dinner for the boys. It'll be at the cafeteria at the school Friday night. I believe they have early dismissal. They're going to be coming back to practice at 4. Then we'll feed them at 5. Saturday morning, we'll have taco breakfast at 8 o'clock, like the regular time we usually have it. After we watch the highlight film, all parents are welcome to come. Everybody's invited to watch that. It's fun to see the boys excited, just to be a part of the excitement of playoffs. We're thrilled that they won a game in playoffs. We want to keep going. Last year was awesome. Next week, if we make it that far, we have Thanksgiving dinner. It's just a great time in the cafeteria. Everybody pitches in. It's really fun to be able to go that far in the playoffs. So, taco breakfast, 8 o'clock Saturday morning. After that, we'll go out in the field, any parent that wants to, and go pray. Then at 9:30, the boys load onto the varsity boys, go on the coach buses. And at 9:40, we won't have a seeing off official party, but we'll be there. We'll have cowbells and fat heads and just to be excited for the guys. Then we'll all take off and meet again at 12:30 out at Grub Burger Bar.
Awesome. Sounds great. It's the best time of the year. So much sports going on, but best part is Georgetown Eagle football going in the playoffs. It's a lot of fun. Well, we can't thank you enough. And for more information, if you'll go on Twitter or Facebook and look up GHS Football, you'll find the Eagle Boosters, and then also GeorgetownFootball.com. You'll find all kinds of information as well. They do a great job.
The restaurant information is on social media. If you go on Twitter or Facebook, get to our page. We have the address, name, everything on there for the tailgating at 12:30 Saturday.
Awesome. And depending on how fast you drive, it's an hour and a half, But they're traveling an hour and a half too, so it should be an equal crowd. But we need to bring more people there. We're on the home side. We're in the shade. Let's make a lot of noise to see
bring your noisemakers, bring your cowbells, we got 2x4s and painted them and got stars and everything, the clackers we call them.
I tell you what, the Georgetown Eagle Nation has made a huge difference this year. When I'm on the sidelines and I hear everything, they're much louder than I recall in a lot of years past.
We have it to where Pete Anderson brings a box full of earplugs. So if it's too loud for you, he has those orange earplugs you can wad up and put in your ears like when you go hunting. So,
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much.
We make noise and we help protect you from noise.
Right. That's important. Awesome. Thank you so much, Pete. And we'd like to mention our sponsors again as well. Extraco Banks, Greg Eady with Extraco Banks, Royce Electric, their daughter Kaylee Biondo is a cheerleader. Georgetown Shirt Company, Georgetown Jewelry. Thank you to Burger U. And let me get their names again real quick. We have Camille Boyd up front. We've got Sam Sproul and Caroline Gant helping us out tonight. Thank y'all so much for your help tonight and letting us hang out here for the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Thank you, Nathan, for producing and setting up. Get those tickets early up this week at the school. Drive down early, grab some lunch, enjoy a great round 2 matchup. Brad Tillery will be on the call with Kelly Duvall, our color commentary. I'll be back on the sideline providing that perspective. Jesse Duvall will be the spotter. Legendary Galen Welnicki with stats, and Nathan will be producing. So tune into SHN Sports and subscribe to YouTube and click the bell icon to stay informed. And we will see y'all there. And on 3, Eagle Fight never dies. 1, 2, 3. Eagle Fight never dies.
All right, thanks, David.
You.